Why am I hearing that my girl went a little crazy before SNL started?
Bitch, what did you do?
I'm hearing that she threw her phone and broke a monitor. What's up with that? All I'm saying is, let me see her hand. Let me see the injuries.
We need to talk about Cardi B because this situation is wild. Cardi B reportedly lost control backstage at Saturday Night Live, and the details are messy. On January 31st, she appeared on SNL, and it was not just any episode, it was the show's 1000th episode. That is a massive milestone, and Cardi was booked as the musical guest for the big night. Now here's where everything flips. While she was backstage getting ready, she overheard Colin and Michael rehearsing a joke for Weekend Update. The joke was about Nicki Minaj, specifically about Nicki's rumored ties to Trump and the whole MAGA conversation. Cardi was not mentioned at all, not even a little bit. But apparently, just hearing Nicki's name was enough to set things off in a serious way. According to TMZ, Cardi completely lost her temper. They say she grabbed her phone and threw it straight at a TV monitor backstage. Then it allegedly escalated even more. She reportedly stormed into a producer's office and started hitting a screen over and over until it cracked and stopped working. The crew had to replace that screen before dress rehearsal even began. And on top of all that, she allegedly threatened to walk off the show entirely. So what did SNL do? They scrapped the joke, completely removed it. It never aired. After all that chaos behind the scenes, Cardi still went out there, performed, appeared in a sketch, and acted like everything was perfectly fine. No hint of drama on camera at all. Then fast forward to yesterday. TMZ dropped another report saying SNL has no hard feelings toward Cardi. Their sources claim she was just having a bad night like anyone can, and even though the show does not support that kind of behavior, she is still welcome back in the future. Think about that for a second. A phone allegedly thrown, a screen reportedly broken, a joke pulled from the lineup, and she still has an open invitation to return. That says a lot about influence in the industry. Not everybody could allegedly do all that and still be invited back like nothing happened. And we already know the tension between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B has been bubbling for years. This did not start yesterday. It goes all the way back to 2017, then turned physical at Fashion Week in 2018. Things got even more tense last year when Nicki made comments involving Cardi's daughter culture, and since 2018, the tension has never fully cooled off. Cardi did respond after TMZ posted the story. She wrote, all these little random stories fit. Let them talk, let them eat cake, let them come to ball.
Cardi posted this tweet after the rumors came out that apparently she went crazy at SNL because they were making a joke about Nicki Minaj, and I guess she didn't like it, and that she broke her phone and was punching the TV and shit like that. She said, all these little random stories, fuck it. Let them talk, let them eat cake, let them come to the ball. Cause this shit ain't true, bruh. This is crazy, bro. And she's on fucking tour right now, bro. Literally, she is performing every fucking night and just, literally eating. I'm seeing all the fucking videos. She is doing a great fucking job. And, this is only gonna do more for her tour. Only gonna do more for her album. And it's only gonna help her grow.
What stands out is that she never actually said the report was false. She did not call it a lie. She did not deny it directly. She just brushed it off. And if we are being real, throwing something when upset has been part of her public image before. A phone, a mic, whatever is nearby, that reaction has happened in past moments people remember. So some believe the report because it lines up with what they have seen. Whether every detail is accurate or not, the tension between Cardi and Nicki is still very real. And even a rehearsal joke can spark a whole situation. What makes this whole situation even deeper is the politics behind it and the power dynamics in that room. SNL is not just any show. It is one of the most protected spaces in entertainment, especially during a milestone episode like the 1000th. That night was stacked with big names, longtime cast members, and industry legends. For a joke to get cut at the last minute, especially one tied to political commentary, that is not small. That tells you the producers made a fast decision to keep the peace and protect the energy of the show. And when you look at it from a business angle, it starts to make sense. Cardi is not just a rapper showing up to perform. She is ratings, she is headlines, she is viral moments waiting to happen. If she walks, that becomes the story. If she stays and performs, the drama stays backstage. That is a calculation. And if the reports are accurate, it shows how tense things must have felt in real time. Imagine rehearsal already moving fast, crew members running around, writers making last-second tweaks, and then boom, emotions flare up because a rival's name gets mentioned. That is not random. That is history bubbling up. The Nicki and Cardi tension has never been a quiet issue. It has always been loud, public, layered with pride and competition. So even if the joke was not about Cardi directly, the name alone could have hit a nerve.
Cardi B melts down backstage of SNL over Nicki Minaj joke. So you had Cardi B on SNL, they was doing a little skit or whatever. Then SNL decided they wanted to basically poke fun at Nicki Minaj, right? With the whole Nicki Trump situation that's been going on. And they like, man, Cardi B basically melted down backstage hearing them bring up Nicki Minaj. I'm talking about throwing her phone allegedly, hitting the TV. It was so out of control that the staff, some of the staff members from Saturday Night Live was basically shook, right? They were like, damn, they was kind of scared of Cardi B, right? I'm like, damn, Cardi, you're doing good right now. Your tour's doing good. You mean to tell me just somebody saying Nicki Minaj? It was supposed to be a joke on Nicki, and Cardi B turned the joke to be on her. That's wild. She melted down like Nicki Minaj is Candyman or something, right? Like the Boogie Woman or something, right? They just said Nicki name Cardi B. Why y'all been man? Cut it out, man. It's okay. It's okay, Cardi.
In this industry, image is everything. When you have two major female rappers who have been compared for nearly a decade, every headline feels personal. Every mention feels like a shot. Even if it is just comedy, perception matters. And perception can trigger reaction. At the same time, this story also raises questions about accountability and celebrity treatment. If an average artist allegedly threw equipment and damaged property backstage, would they still be invited back so easily? Probably not. That is where influence becomes obvious. Cardi has built herself into a brand that crosses music, fashion, reality TV, and social media dominance. She trends without trying. So when controversy pops up around her, it does not sink her, it feeds the machine. Some fans see it as passion, others see it as lack of control. But either way, it keeps her name hot. And let's be clear, none of this changes the fact that she still went out there and delivered her performance. Cameras rolled, audience cheered, and the show went on. That kind of switch up from backstage chaos to onstage composure shows how seasoned she is. You can call it dramatic, but you cannot call it inexperienced. At the same time, the ongoing rivalry with Nicki adds gasoline to every situation. When there is already history involving public arguments, industry shade, and even past physical tension, even small sparks look bigger than they are. Fans pick sides instantly. Blogs run with it. Social media turns it into a battlefield within minutes. And once narratives start forming, it almost does not matter what actually happened. The story becomes larger than the facts. That is the real power and the real pressure. In a space where every move is watched, even a rehearsal joke can feel like disrespect. Whether the report is fully accurate or partly exaggerated, the bigger truth is this: the competition between these two artists still shapes the conversation around them, and anytime their names land in the same sentence, the temperature rises fast. When you step back and really look at this whole situation, it becomes bigger than just one backstage moment. It turns into a conversation about ego, competition, power, and how fragile things can get when history is involved. In entertainment, especially at that level, nobody is just reacting to the present. They are reacting to years of buildup, comparisons, shady headlines, fan wars, and public narratives that never fully die.
I believe every inch of this article. This is the same woman who said they're gonna go all up in Ice Spice's mouth and beat her up at every red carpet they see her. Cardi literally did all of that because Ice Spice dissed her in a song and said that she's built like an ant. She did all of that over a joke, so I do not put none of this past her. I mean, we gotta be real and stop forgetting stuff like this. She was on that call calling Lotto coming for her own friend. So I 100% believe she punched the TV screen over a Nicki Minaj joke. This woman has no emotional awareness whatsoever, and she showed that many times.
So when Nicki's name reportedly came up in that rehearsal, it may not have just been a joke in Cardi's ears. It could have felt like another reminder of a rivalry that the media refuses to let fade. That kind of tension does not disappear just because time passes. It sits there, quiet but alive. And let's talk about how fast stories move now. Within hours of TMZ posting their report, social media was already split into teams. Some people said this sounds believable, others said this feels exaggerated, but almost nobody said they were surprised. That says something. Cardi has built a reputation for being expressive and reactive. She does not bottle things up. When she feels disrespected, she responds. That transparency is part of why her fan base rides so hard for her. They see her as real, unfiltered, unpolished. But that same quality can also put her in messy situations. When emotions lead the moment, the fallout can be unpredictable. At the same time, it is important to keep perspective. Reports are reports. Sources are sources. None of us were in that room. The entertainment industry thrives on drama because drama clicks. Drama trends, drama sells. So every detail that leaks is going to sound intense. A thrown phone becomes a headline. A cracked screen becomes a scandal. A threatened walkout becomes a power move. The truth might be layered. It might be less explosive than it sounds, or it might be exactly as dramatic as reported. Either way, the public only sees pieces of the full picture. What stands out the most is that SNL reportedly has no hard feelings. That detail shifts the energy. If the show truly felt disrespected or damaged, they would not be extending another invitation. Productions protect themselves. Networks protect their brand. So the fact that sources are saying she is still welcome back suggests that whatever happened, it was not seen as unforgivable. That speaks to how valuable she is as a performer. It also speaks to how common intense moments can be in high-pressure creative spaces. Live television is stressful. Rehearsal days are long. Emotions run high. That does not excuse bad behavior, but it adds context.
Throwing phones, destroying a TV on the set, breaking the TV with your bare hand, really? All because you heard Nicki Minaj's name? TMZ is reporting that Cardi B had another violent outburst, this time on the set of Saturday Night Live, because if you guys remember, at the end of January, she was SNL's special musical guest for their 1000th episode. Allegedly, Cardi B was on the set where she overheard the Weekend News actors going over their lines, which included a joke about Nicki Minaj. Allegedly, she blacked out, started destroying equipment on the set, threw her phone, and literally used her hand and punched the TV multiple times, breaking the damn screen, just because she heard Nicki Minaj's name.
Then there is the Nicki factor. The rivalry between Nicki Minaj and Cardi B has been one of the most talked about feuds in modern hip-hop. It has had music chart battles, award show tension, social media shade, and that Fashion Week moment that nobody has forgotten. Even when things go quiet, the fan bases never fully power down. Every lyric gets decoded. Every interview gets analyzed. Every perceived jab becomes a trending topic. So when a comedy show references one of them, it is never just neutral. It lands in an already loaded atmosphere. Cardi responding the way she did also keeps things interesting. She did not break down the report point by point. She did not post a long denial. Instead, she wrote, all these little random stories if it. Let them talk, let them eat cake, let them come to ball. That response feels dismissive, almost amused. It does not confirm anything. It does not deny anything. It leaves space for interpretation. And sometimes that is more powerful than a detailed explanation. Silence on specifics can keep the mystery alive. There is also a larger conversation here about how female artists are framed in conflict. When men clash in hip-hop, it is often labeled as competition. When women clash, it is labeled as drama. That difference in framing matters. It shapes how the public reacts. It shapes how headlines are written. Cardi and Nicki both operate in a space where they are constantly compared, ranked, and pitted against each other. That pressure can magnify small situations into major events. Every reaction becomes symbolic. Every moment becomes part of a bigger narrative about who is winning and who is losing. Power is another key piece of this puzzle. If the reports are accurate and a joke was removed after a backstage reaction, that signals influence. Not everyone has that kind of pull, but influence in entertainment is not just about money. It is about attention. It is about engagement. It is about who can move the needle. Cardi has proven over and over that when her name is attached to something, people tune in. That makes networks think strategically. It makes producers weigh options carefully. In that world, decisions are rarely emotional. They are calculated. Still, influence does not erase responsibility. If something was damaged, it had to be fixed. If tension disrupted rehearsal, people felt that stress. Fame can cushion consequences, but it does not make moments disappear. It just changes how they are handled. That is the reality of celebrity culture. Things that would end someone else's opportunity can become just another headline in a superstar's timeline. What remains is the bigger truth. The entertainment industry runs on storylines as much as it runs on talent. Cardi versus Nicki is a storyline that refuses to close. SNL cutting a joke becomes part of that storyline. A backstage rumor becomes part of that storyline. A cryptic Instagram response becomes part of that storyline. And fans will keep watching because unresolved tension keeps people invested. Whether this moment fades away next week or sparks another round of back and forth depends on what happens next. Maybe nothing, maybe everything. But one thing is clear, as long as these two names carry history, any intersection between them will feel electric. In this industry, perception can be louder than facts. And once a narrative catches fire, it moves fast.